Hi, Bloom Tribe. I wanted to do a piece on your why because I did a blog sometime a few months ago, and people had a really good reaction to it and wanted a little bit more. So I was thinking that on the video blog, at the risk of being redundant, we would just kind of break down that blog and talk about it a little bit. Some people like to read the blog, other people just like the video blog, and so if you already read the blog, maybe you get it twice, maybe you don't. If you didn't read the blog, here it is for the first time. But the name of the blog is What is Your Why? Why the hell is everybody talking about it? I'll give you the link. So in case you're interested, you can go to it. If you are going to check out, because you already read the blog, at least listen to this part that I am adding a free workshop to go with it because people had, a free worksheet to go with it because people had such a good reaction to the blog. So I want you to be able to do some self work at home for free. And so at the bottom of the blog, some of you have seen it in other blogs, you just sign up, you put your email in there, and then to your email box, you will get a free worksheet that goes with it so you can really kind of start working through stuff on your own. My gift free from me to you. If this stuff is resonating with you, I want you to be able to go to the next level with it. And so I'll be putting some free worksheets out there, and there is one attached to the Y blog now. So again, if you need to get to it, it's on my website, youandibloom.com. Go to the blog section, and it's the Y blog. So if you have not, or you want to rewatch it, you'll see me looking at my paper. I am an extemporaneous. I don't script when I vlog because it hangs me up and I'm not so good. So I just get thoughts together and then record. So you'll see me looking at the paper, which is more awkward for me than just getting on camera and do stuff. So you see me looking down, that's what we're doing. So I want to make sure I'm true to what I wrote because it did resonate, and then we'll talk about it. So first section of it is what is your why? And the biggest thing about your why is it's like what gets you up in the morning? What fuels you? What are you passionate about? What are you going to connect? Why you are on this earth, and why are you getting up in the morning and doing the things you do? So that is what your why is. And then you connect it to your goals that if you do this, that's why you have this goal out there. And that's what motivates you to keep moving towards your goal. And so a lot of people are talking about it right now because I get a sense we're talking about the things that we're needing and we're thirsty for the most in our society. And so when you see a lot of stuff about tribes and who to surround yourself with, or what is your why, and how do you get where you really want to go, that to me says that we're thirsty for that because we're not necessarily in a place where we're filling our buckets in the ways that we should. So taking some time to really kind of think about it, it's a total mindfulness piece, right? We're putting it on Mindfulness Monday because it's about being mindful about yourself and why you operate every day, why you put your feet on this earth every morning and go. Why are you doing it? Why are you making that choice? And so whys are big right now, and it just tells me we're thirsty for that. So digging in and taking some time to be really mindful about that, it's a good idea. Okay, so how do you find your why? So when I'm coaching, this is I don't know, it's so interesting to me because when I ask someone what's their why, or I'll give them the worksheet, it'll be similar to the one that you guys download, and it kind of walks you through like, what's your why? And you write it down. And I will sit down with someone and I get this a lot. Um, um, okay, so that tells us that we haven't necessarily got to a deep reflective spot, which is okay because the magic of coaching is strata. It's in there. We haven't just brought to the surface because you put it somewhere and forgot about it for a while, which sometimes can be good, like a kombucha. But other times, like it needs to be brought back to the surface. And that's totally what a coach does. It's in there and we bring it out. And so it's such a coachable topic. So sometimes it's just other times they've gotten to the place, but it's typically their social self that's written it. So it's like this like mission statement you would see on an institutional gray wall. Like, I am dedicated to the improvement of the blah, blah, blah for the future generations, whatever, which is cool. Great starting point. But not your why. Not your why. It's too sterile. It's too clean. It's too institutional for me. Like, when I'm talking about a why, and I put this in the blog, it's like, go long. Fuck that. Go deep. Your why is deep, deep, deep in here and in your belly. That's where you feel your why. It's not here. It is absolutely not here. This is what, when we over intellectualize something or over analyze it, or we're in our heads, that strips away the why. You're going to feel it here and in your stomach when you hit it, right? Now, it may come out your eyes. I've seen that many times. It may make your lip quiver, and I love that. That's when I know I've gotten to a why with a client. And so when you start, right, and I'll give you an example of my why, so I'm not calling out any clients. So my why, everybody knows I have two littles and one bonus baby, one not so little. He's 6'4", he's gigantic, and one of the loves of my life. Like, man, that kid makes my world turn. I call him my bonus baby because he was the biggest bonus I've ever got. I won the lottery when I met this kid. And he came into my life when I met his daddy, now me, hubby. So anyway, they are my why. Okay. So my children are my why. Now, do you see how I can just be like, my children are my why? Now, not many people who are parents out there. I've seen a couple people deviate from that of, well, they're not necessarily my why, they're part of my world, but they're why. For me, they are my why because I wanted to spend more time with them. Okay, that's a very surface level why of, yeah, I wanted to be able to spend more time with my family. See how clean that is? We can put it on there, cross stitched on a pillow, and we don't get too vulnerable. It doesn't get messy. No one's gonna cry, so everybody's comfortable, right? Okay, so let's go deeper into my why. So my why is important to me for deeper reasons than that. A few reasons. Like, I waited a very long time to have my family. I was one of those people who it was school and career, and then I'll work in a family later. I was going to take care of myself. I'm an independent woman, and do that, right? So I actually waited. I waited to do that, and then met my husband. And I will tell you, I'll be honest, and if you know me, you've heard this a million times, you're going to hear it again. I lost my flipping mind when I met my husband. I was going to be this like spinster lady, and I was going to get married, and I was on the fence about whether I even wanted kids or not, or needed kids or not, or if it didn't happen, I was okay with that. And then I met Steve. It still gives me the yeah. So, and we shoved it into high gear because there is an expiration date on every egg carton, my people, and this one especially. And so we had to do a lot of living, a little bit of time, and make the babies. So, waited a long time. Found this amazing partner. I actually, when I talk about Riley, who's my bonus baby, and that was a big thing, I didn't know how I felt about dating someone who had children because it was so weird for me. I hadn't done that before, Steve. And then the first night I met Riley, I remember what he was wearing. I remember everything he asked me, but I also remember falling so head over heels in love for both of them because it was a peak. I got to see how my husband parented before I made a decision about having a family with him. Like, it was the most amazing opportunity as a woman that you could ever ask for. Like, it was just insane. My head almost exploded. Okay, so I waited, met Steve, and then we were in family making mode. And a couple things happened after that. Couple things. One, I went back to my 9 to 5 job after I had Lulu, who was my oldest born. And there was one day in the kitchen, and I saw him pick up a spoon, and he started using it. And I realized I didn't teach him to use that spoon. Somebody else, amazing people, but someone else had stepped in while I was in an office writing emails I didn't really care about. That was not my full why anymore. And they taught him how to feed himself, and I didn't. So that to me it wasn't okay with me. Now there's other women who have figured out how to do that and do it beautifully, and I just couldn't do that dance. I mean, so props to them. It's hard. It's so hard to have a family and a 9 to 5, and it's super hard. Now I'm not saying that I wasn't career driven or anything like that. Like, I'm a driver. Anybody who knows me, it just means I had to redesign my world. Then got pregnant, and as I was pregnant, I was working, and standing in my office one day, I almost lost him. Like, and it was because it was not the right environment. Okay, see what I'm doing, even on camera? That's my why. I had waited so long to have this family, and I had been so blessed to find the perfect partner with the perfect kid to like trailblaze and be an older brother, which he takes so seriously. And Quinn was going to be our grand finale. And because I wasn't being true to myself and my authentic self and living a life that was conducive, I almost lost part of my family. Okay. So my why for Bloom, my why for talking to you guys every day, my why for showing up for clients and helping them to manifest, make, and accommodate change in their life, that's why. All right. So when you read the blog and I talk about like when you get to that point, there's your why. Okay, that's what you're going to write down. You're going to write it on a piece of paper that is tear stained and worn to shit. That's your why. Okay, so when we're talking about our why, that's where we're going. We're not going to my children are my why, right? I want you to go much deeper in that. If you can't, get someone to help you. Get someone to help you because that is like what we do. There's a lot of us who actually do this for a living because we love helping people locate that. I wrote in the blog too, and I just love this part of it. And my clients don't know this necessarily because I don't know where they're at, and with it, or if they'd even know what I'm saying, if it's like, ooh, she just got super woo woo on me. But every time I get to that point, and I've had people across the table, I mean, every time we do why, this happens across the table. If I'm doing my job well, that's what happens. And one of my guys recently got there, and every single time someone locates their why in front of me, in my head and in my heart, I say namaste, namaste, because that a yogi once told me the translation I love the most is the light in me honors the light in you. It's freaking hard work to get to that place in your why where you're that vulnerable, sitting with someone else and saying that's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm getting up every morning, right? This is what I'm living for. And so that's what your why is. And so please know that when you get to your why, if you do this worksheet and you get to that point where your voice cracks and your tears fill up in your eyes and your lip starts quivering, you will hear, well, in your heart, just know, across the universe, across the internet, in this space that you guys know is the Bloom Room, I will be cheering you on and I will be giving you the most heartfelt namaste. Love to you, my Bloom tribe. Please be mindful of your why and go check out the worksheet if you want to dig a little bit deeper. And check out the blog, check out the worksheet, and reach out to me with any questions. That's the other offer I have for you. If you are working through a worksheet or if you are just like, I can't get there, reach out. I am here. It's what I do. I love you all. Okay, so love to you. Thanks for listening to my why today, and I hope that you have a beautiful, beautiful journey to yours.